G'day there, I'm Bec Sandys, comedian. I'm here to give you my top 5 things to get nostalgic about. Let's rip into it. Number 5, the mixtape. Oh, if you haven't made a mixtape in your life, you haven't lived. So you'd have to ring up the radio station, request your song. Fingers crossed, DJ didn't speak over the beginning of it. A mixtape was a labour of love. I just miss it. I just miss everything about it. So that's my number 5, the mixtape. Number 4 on the list, I've split it into 2. First bit, Ozone Layer. Definitely had it in the 80s for sure, because why else would our parents lather us up with oil, cooking oil, baby oil, coconut oil, lather us up, send us out into the sun to bake. On your way. Part 2, we would hoon off on our bikes, find somewhere to swim. That would either be the local river, like a school pool, or anything that you had to pay money to get into. We'd jump the fence, rock on, have fun, like doing bombs and all kinds of stuff, and would leave these like oil streaks in the water from all of the oil that we're being lathered in. Oh, the good old days. Good old days in the 80s. Great. So that's my number 4. The third thing on my list, number 3, lolly scrambles. Very nostalgic for the lolly scramble, but in New Zealand, they put a ban on lolly scrambles in the 90s. They're going a bit too extreme with it. I guess a lolly can really do some damage when it's being dropped from a helicopter. But I think it was more to do with kids running out in front of trucks at Santa parades. They were just like, nah, no more lolly scrambles in New Zealand. Bring back the lolly scramble, I say. Screw health and safety. Number 2 on my list of things to get nostalgic about, roller skating. As a kid in Ash Vegas, growing up in Ash Vegas, we had a place, it was called Wizards Skate Ranch, and it catered for all of us in the town. So you had the roller skating, there was Space Invader games all around the outside, there was a DJ who played music, but the best thing about it, the perk for all of us kids that we looked forward to the most, was they had a jar on the counter, and for 20 cents, you could buy yourself a single cigarette. No age restrictions, at any age, you could just help yourself to that jar as long as you had 20 cents. Amazing. And that brings me to number 1. I've split it into 2. Number 1.5, events. Concerts and comedy gigs and blue light discos, if they still have them today. You know, we loved rocking down the back of the blue light disco, having a snog. Great old days. Bring them back. Events. So the other half of number 1 that I'm most nostalgic about is life before social media. It was a time of freedom. It was a time to be alive. We could do whatever we wanted. Get naked, parties, wouldn't show up on someone's newsfeed the next day. You wouldn't be reminded about it 28 years later. That freedom. Face-to-face conversations, you know, seeing people's faces, not the tops of their heads. That's always nice. And look at your phones all the time. Take me back to that. Bring that on. That is my numero uno. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Bec Sandys. Take care out there.